First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Dumb honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to a hopeful that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother Dawaba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago. Coming right back at you with a little lesson. And as you see on my phone screen here, I got the Ultimate Preparedness 9427. The guy that's on the screen is Steve Smith. Now he changed his channel name. It used to be Integrative Preparedness, but he changed it. He changed it to Ultimate Preparedness, but that's neither here nor there. A lot of times when I listen to this guy, a lot of times he bring out good information. A lot of times he just says things that's good for a video or good for a lesson. This particular time he said something that's I thought just was good for a lesson. Now there are a few things he says in this video, quite a few things. And it's not, it's a little less than 9-minute video. He talks about, what's going over there in Iran, that they had just proposed a attack, said something about an attack, and they was warning American citizens to get out of certain areas, and that's what he's talking about on here. But there was something else that he spoke upon too. He talked about the economy, which in his eyes he doesn't believe, and I'm going to let him speak. I'm going to let him speak for himself. It's about a minute and 50 seconds. I'm going to let y'all listen to it. He kind of he gets to the point, but he kind of says a few other things before he actually get to his point. So bear with the 2 minutes. It's just 2 minutes long, and then I'm going to grab a few scriptures, and that's going to be it. But the economy is crashing. Period. Your dollar is going to be worthless pretty soon. Period. And a lot of people sit up here and always talk about fear-mongering and what's the favorite word that they used to, conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theorists normally is not yes. When you look up the word conspiracy, as a matter of fact, let me look that up real quick because that's what I really want to. That's a lot of times conspiracy theories end up being true with spirit, but conspiracy theorists. Forgive me, brothers. There you go. Conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist is someone who believes in, promote, or advances explanations of events that involve secret plots by powerful, malicious groups, often disregarded by mainstream evidence. They typically argue that official accounts are false, instead proposing that alternative, hidden, or stigma-free information explains major, often tragic occurrences. Definition and use is often used as a derogatory term. It implies someone is misguided or wrong. But you know what the point is. Here it is, a conspiracy, someone who believes and promotes an advanced explanation of events involving secret, powerful, malicious groups, often disregarding mainstream evidence. So my thing is, a lot of times they'll sit up here and think that you're lying, false. Conspiracy theorists are just out there. They just crazy. But a lot of times, most people are not. They sit up here and say that about the Israel, the prophets out there on the highways and byways. They call us conspiracy theorists and all sorts of bullshit. But when you look around, you see the evidence right in front of you. It's just people blind and want to see that the world continue on, So it ain't no conspiracy theorists. I'm going to tell you something. Most of the time it's fucking facts. But with that being said, let me go ahead and let him sit up here and go ahead and do what he's going to do. Like I said, it's going to be about a minute and 50 seconds. I'm going to grab a few scriptures. And let me get the Copyright Act of 1976. I'm not using this for any financial or monetary gain. I'm using this for educational purposes only. Here we go.
For those of you who I know watch other channels, the negative channels, let me give you this. Gold tumbles after Trump's Iran hint. What does that mean? How could I be saying, how could gold tumble? This is a warning to you all. I've tried to warn before, but I know a lot of people out there watch these channels that are always telling you to buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. And the dollar is crashing, and BRICS is taking over, and essentially anti-American channels. And they're doing you a disservice. And if you continue to listen to them, you're going to be going down a wrong road. Here's Gold prices on the COMEX fell over 2% to 46.77 per ounce after President Trump hinted at possible military action in Iran, prompting investors, listen to this, to rush into the U.S. dollar. Okay, did you hear that? So many people out there, including preparedness channels, talk about stuff from a position of fear without knowing what in the world they are talking about. Okay, those people who have bought gold over the last several months have lost $1,000 an ounce, even while they were being told by. And I've noticed some of these channels have backed off. For a while, they were all about buy gold, buy gold. Every day it was the dollar collapsed, the dollar's going down, buy gold. It's the only, that's a bunch of hooey. And
He says a bunch of hooey. All the bullshit he's saying is a bunch of hooey, you know. And then he sits up here and says that just because people sit up here and say that the American dollar is crashing, they anti-American. See, this is the bullshit a lot of motherfuckers love to push. See, he's talking that bullshit and that nonsense. The dollar is going to crash. This country is going to be destroyed. Yes. America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, is about to be fucking destroyed off the fucking face of the planet. It ain't going to be nothing but a goddamn desert. It ain't going to be nothing but a goddamn lake of fire. And the only thing that's going to survive here later on is the desert creatures. Because no person is going to be on this place anymore. Everybody's going to get destroyed. The only people that's going to make it out of America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, is the elect. Everything else here is going to be set on fire. Wiped out. And guys like this sit up here. He calls everyone fearmonger and everything else because he believes that, like they say, they believe that their houses are going to continue on for generations. He's one of them. But with that being said, man, he's talking about the dollar ain't going to go down. It ain't, the economy ain't going to crash. It is. So with that, man, before I get the scripture, before I get one scripture, let me grab this one real quick. Let me grab Habakkuk 2 first. And then I'm going to grab, before I grab that one, let me grab Habakkuk 2. This is Habakkuk 2 and 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon a tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And we're reading it, those visions plain upon tablets, And that's the prophets reading it now. We sitting up here reading everything and letting people know what's about to happen. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. And there you go. Just because you don't believe something doesn't mean it's going to happen. And that goes for these Edomites, that goes for 2/3. It don't matter. Just because you don't believe shit, that don't mean it don't happen. And guess what's going to happen? The economy is going to crash. Point blank, period. And that's scriptural. And I will get that. But here's another thing I want to grab. I want to grab, what was that? I had it in my head. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 1 and what is that, 9? It says, this is Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the thing that have been, is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So the things that have been, all that stuff all these things have been done. When it says no new thing under the sun, well, what's no new thing under the sun? Just like in all the other civilizations, Romans, everything, all of it crashed, and guess what went? The economy was part of that crash. Same thing that's going to happen here in America, aka Babylon the Great. The economy is going to crash, just like everything else. Insurrection, sedition among men, social unrest, famine, the slutty and sexual immorality that's all up in the place. It's ridiculous. All these things have happened before. Ain't no new thing under the sun, and it's going to happen again. Point blank, period. Now I'm going to grab the other scripture I want to grab, and that's Revelation chapter 6. This is Revelation 6 and 5. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard a third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him, and had a pair of balances in his hand. And what does those pair of balances represent? bondage, slavery. You know, we went into slavery, hardcore slavery. You know, when you look at all the other captivities we went in before America, aka Babylon the Great, before the transatlantic slave thing, all the other captivities we knew who we were, and this one is the only one which we didn't, and this was the hardest, hardcore. This was brutal slavery. I don't even know another word I could say how brutal it was. It says, it says Revelation 6, and it says, and I heard Revelation 6 and 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And I heard not the oil and the wine is this truth, this wisdom and knowledge. But it says a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. When you go back into the Roman times, a penny was a denarius, which was a silver ounce coin back in the Roman days. So just think about it. And that represented a day's wage. So when you think about it, just think about it. A day's wage in this time. Some people make $100. Some people make $150. Just think about in this time for $100, you paying for a loaf of bread. 1 day's wage for just 1 loaf of bread or a gallon of milk. That's the economy crashing. Hyperinflation, superinflation, whatever you want to call it. You know, though that's coming. This idiot on here, Steve Smith, talking all that dumb shit, man. He's the one that don't know, because he believes in this country. He believes in Trump and all the other bullshit that goes on. And then they love speaking ill about everybody else, but you Edomites are the most bloodthirsty, worthless motherfuckers on the planet. But you talk about everybody else like everybody else is evil. Y'all the most evilest motherfuckers on the planet. Fucking pricks. But either way it goes, man. You so-called white motherfuckers, man. And I can't wait till the Lord destroy you bastards. Now, even though, you know, like he said, we talk about getting gold. We even said, you know, even some bros got silver. We got some silver. Some bros got gold, you know. But that don't mean it's going to save us. But my whole point is, hey, just like Joseph, you know, if you know something is coming, it's smart to sit up here and put some things aside. We're not saying it's going to save us. But hey, we know what's happening. We know the economy is going to crash. We know food shortage is going to happen. Just because you buy an extra 20-pound bag of rice or some beans or whatever the case may be, a bag of pinto beans or whatever you get, doesn't make anything wrong. We just don't rely on those things. But is it smart to sit up here and put some things away? Of course. If you got the money, yeah, it's smart. We know what's coming. That don't mean it's going to save us. But we understand the Lord's words too. And what he say? Shit is about to happen. So is it not smart? But the first thing we prepare with is this truth. Point blank period. We put all our trust in the Lord. Point blank period. You know? But there's nothing wrong with getting an extra bag of rice or having some silver or some gold if you got it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. If you got it, you get it. You know? But I just want to sit up here and say something about that. But here's the other point. You know what? Matter of fact, let's sit up here and say this too. Let's go to James chapter 5. This is James chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hired laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." You know, the Lord of armies, man. Hey, but it says your gold and stuff is cankered. It ain't gonna be worth shit, man. You know? That's the point I really want to make. Gold ain't gonna save you in the days ahead. The riches ain't gonna save you in the days ahead. So even no matter what you do, these motherfuckers run into these bunkers, preparing all this food. Hey, if the Lord wants you, he wants you. It ain't gonna save you. If you ain't of the elect, you through. You know? Point blank period. Now you're gonna have some elite that's gonna go into these bunkers in these other countries. You know, but they're gonna get dug out later. But gold ain't gonna save you in the days ahead, man. Gold is not gonna save you. And the Lord is about to sit up here, bash this place, you know. But hey, I just want to sit up here, say something a little bit on that fool, man, because, these guys come with the conspiracy theories. He calling people not American and all sorts of nonsense, which really don't matter. But my whole point is, he's the fool, At least other people are listening and probably trying to prepare for something that's not going to save them, Either you're going to prepare spiritually or you're going to prepare carnally, 2/3 of our people just walking around with their heads in the sand. They ain't doing shit, whether it be carnal or spiritually. They just stupid and foolish. But either way it goes, man, I just want to make a point about it. So I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and a Bob Ball and Anyaha Batham Malakim. Shalom.